Big Jimmy, the truth about Bronny James playing in the NBA. Let's go back to the bottom, though. Pause. Z's. You not fucking with Jimmy?
With the 2024 NBA...
I'm sorry that your Hawks have drafted Zachary Ricochet. Nah, I'm hating. He might be decent.
Draft in the books, there is one major discussion that has dominated the NBA space over the last week. It isn't about the #1 overall pick. It isn't about the outlook of.
I got Baylor Shireman. I don't care about nothing else.
It's about a late second-round pick, and for good reason, because his name is LeBron James, and he's going to play in the NBA with LeBron James. It's a weird and unprecedented circumstance.
Let me preface this before anything, right? No one ever cares about these second-round picks. The Celtics drafted Yam Madar and Jahan Bejerin. They have never played for the Celtics, only in the Summer League. Is Bronny good enough to play in the NBA? Remains to be seen. Did he deserve to get picked? Maybe. But he got picked. Half these second-round picks, a lot of them don't even come to the USA and play. So a guy is going to come in and he gets to play with his dad, I got to salute it. And he was an All-American in high school. He was an All-American in high school, so it is what it is. If he came straight out of high school, he probably would have been a higher pick, which is crazy to think, but it's true. So, you know, and he had that thing with his heart. So I hope he does well. Like I said this a long time ago when he was still in high school. If he has the career of someone like Gordon Hayward, people will still find a way to hate. If he has the career of Patrick McCaw, people are going to hate. It is what it is, bro. He don't even got to play in the league, nigga. I ain't gonna lie. If my dad was rich like Bron, I don't know, man. I might, like, start rapping or I'd be on the couch eating chips or some shit. Fuck.
It's that the NBA has never encountered.
Like, there's a certain work ethic that
player
matters.
Who many fans consider to be the greatest of all time, playing in the NBA with his own son. A story so strange, you'd think the NBA scriptwriters outsourced their work to ChatGPT, picked the most batshit result, and called it a day. But after 2 years of speculation, we now know with certainty that Bronny James will be an NBA
He gonna be
player.
Curry?
And
He's not as big as Curry.
The
He's like
criticism of his
6'1".
merits and value as a future player in the NBA have already came pouring in. Scouts and GMs claiming Bronny as a prospect isn't even worth using a late second-round pick on, and that the real value lies in his last name and the leverage it comes with. But how valuable is a second-round pick?
Imagine had we taken him, though. That would have been crazy.
Really? And is Bronny a legitimate NBA player, or is he only in conversation solely because of who his dad is?
I mean, I think we'll find out soon enough.
Who do you want to play with?
Bronny is #1 on my list.
I gotta be on the floor with Bronny.
The funniest part, though, was the smoke screening of them acting like LeBron didn't want the Lakers to take him. Like, them like, no, like, he'll go wherever. Like, you know, like, no, nigga, he was going to the Lakers no matter what, bro. And they start calling niggas, telling him not to draft him. We knew what time it was. And I'm not going to hate, though, my nigga. I'm not going to hate. Nigga, you're Bron. You're the GOAT, if not arguably top 2, whatever. I'm a throw my weight around. He already did it before with coaches and shit. If LeBron was retired, he wouldn't have got drafted. Whatever team LeBron owned would have drafted him.
Today's video is sponsored by SeatGeek.
Hey, big brother, get that cheese. Get that cheese, brother.
And in 1990, these two did one of the coolest things a father and
Ken
son
Griffey and
can
his
possibly
dad.
do. They played in the
Ken
MLB
Griffey Jr.
together.
was better than his
and
dad,
when I
though.
say together, I don't just mean they played in the MLB at the same time. They were on the same team.
Would you want to be on the same team as your dad, though? Like, you might be fucking up the play when you try to get the hose.
They shared the same outfield with each other. It's probably the rarest and most badass thing you'll ever see in sports. Making it to the big leagues is one thing, but playing in
that
the
first
big leagues
Bron and
next to your
Bronny
kid
moment gonna be
is
crazy,
a club
though.
exclusive to only these two. And if that wasn't incredible enough, on September 14th, 1990, the Griffeys pulled off something that you will never see again in your lifetime.
An inch back up there now.
Did they both hit a home run in the same game?
Well hit to center field. Devon White going back.
Baseball takes some skill, dog. I can't do it. It takes some fucking skill.
And he hits one well to left center field. Dante Bichette. Back-to-back home runs.
That's crazy. Scroll back for years.
The Griffeys were great.
And
they were
what the fuck? Imagine he get the chance for the lob though, and he fuck it up. Oh my god, that's go. Oh my god, I'd be nervous. I'd be nervous as shit. Just in the moment, I'd be nervous as a fuck if that happened, dog.
The first and only father-son duo in the history of Major League Baseball. But they weren't the first father-son duo in professional sports. This is Gordie Howe, one of the greatest players to ever touch the ice. He won 4 Stanley Cups, 6 MVPs.
Hockey be looking hard as shit to play. I could never.
Points at the time of his retirement, and is a member of the NHL's 100th anniversary team. Gordie had an incredible pro career as a hockey player. And yet, out of all of his accomplishments, the coolest thing he ever did was this. This is Mark and Marty Howe, Gordie's sons, and he played professional hockey with them in both the WHA and the NHL for 5 seasons. Now, if you're thinking, that guy looks a little old to be playing professional sports, you're right. Gordie began his career in the NHL in 1946 when he was just 18 years old. By the time he retired for good, he was 51. A career that stretched from the 1940s to the 1980s. And only with a career like this can a player even have a shot at playing in the league together with their son. Why exactly am I talking about home runs and Gordie Howe? Well, because they're awesome, but also because of these two and what they're about to accomplish in their own sport.
Is he going to stick around?
LeBron
Is
and
Bryce
Bronny
going to be
James,
good enough?
who are on track to being the first father and son duo
I gotta
to
respect
play
it, man.
together in the NBA. An idea that seemed far-fetched when LeBron first mentioned it years ago, but has now become a reality. But
Is he gonna throw the
legitimate is
senior on the
Bronny's spot
jersey?
in the league? And is the backlash towards the Lakers selecting him with a second-round pick in the draft
He might be legit.
warranted?
I thought he
Well,
might be
to
better
answer
than
this
Bronny. I don't
question,
believe
we
it right
first
now.
need to know just how good Bronny
Bryce
is
first
as a
pick,
prospect
stop.
and as an incoming NBA player. Right now, NBADraft.net has
He's not
Bronny rated
6'3".
at an 88 overall
He's
across
not
their
6'3".
12 prospect metrics. This overall rating puts Bronny on the lower end of all second-round picks and future prospects over the last 3 years, but well within range of your typical mid to late first-rounder. Now, here are Bronny's numbers during his 1 season of college basketball. 5 points, 3 rebounds, and 2 assists
Warriors
a
got
game
2
on
second-round picks for
47,
Clay.
30,
That's crazy.
69% shooting splits. Now, these numbers, especially from a relatively undersized guard, do not scream NBA potential. But for perspective, here are the average collegiate stats from every late second-round pick that played college basketball over the last 5 years. And even when compared to late second-round picks, Bronny's numbers aren't nearly as impressive. In fact, Bronny is arguably the least productive college prospect in NBA history.
This nigga using the analytics to shit on. I mean, I know he not shitting on bro. He's literally just using the numbers, but like, damn, nigga, like making bro look like a shitbag.
Numbers aren't nearly as impressive. In fact, Bronny is arguably the least productive college prospect in NBA history.
Bro, nigga said he the least in NBA history is crazy, nigga. Bro, I seen Jahan Bejerin play for the Celtics, nigga. I seen it happen, nigga. I seen it.
Here is a list of every player in the entire history of the NBA to be selected in the first 2 rounds of the draft that averaged less than 5 points, 3 rebounds, and 3 assists a game in college.
Oh, hold on. Check Diallo.
And 3 assists a game in college.
Robertus Javtokas. Check Diallo. Bronny James.
And that's it. Just 3 players who were selected in the NBA draft with college numbers.
At least them niggas
equal
was
to
6'11".
or less than
Fuck.
Bronny's college numbers. Pair that with the fact that these prospects had at least the benefit of having NBA frames and physical tools to be potentially built off of, and the case for Bronny warranting a pick in the NBA draft becomes more and more difficult to make. But to really demonstrate exactly where Bronny falls amongst other second-round picks,
Like, is he
here's a
an
chart
NBA
of
point guard?
every college basketball player selected in the second
Like,
round of the draft over the last
Can
10
he fuck with Peyton Pritchard? That's the barometer, nigga. Nigga, when Peyton Pritchard come in the game and hit you with that hacha, can you fuck with Peyton Pritchard? Oh, ball. Fuck.
years, with box plus minus on the
I don't know if he could fuck with Peyton, nigga. That's a real hooper.
X-axis and minutes per game on the Y-axis. 298 selections spanning 10 drafts. More than half of these players not even in the NBA today.
Nigga, Kyrie couldn't even cook Peyton Pritchard. I ain't gonna lie. Kyrie was getting boxed up by Peyton Pritchard in the finals, but we don't want to speak on that, do we? We don't want to speak on it, right?
Hey, where's Bronny?
Right here.
He's right here. most late draft picks, even the guys who go on to not even make a roster in the league, were first or maybe second options in their college program. Bronny, on the other hand, was an undersized rotational player on a sub-500 team. It doesn't take an NBA scout to know that Bronny James's collegiate career wasn't that of your typical second-round draft pick.
We got
But
Anton
how good
Watson.
is the typical second-round pick? With the rise of
I don't even have a
second-round
clip.
sleepers in recent history, most notably players like Nikola Jokic, Jalen Brunson, Herb Jones, and Jordan Clarkson, the potential value of a second-round pick in the NBA draft is about as high as it's ever been. With the help of advanced metrics, the curtain has been pulled back on the value even a solid role player can provide to a winning team. Prospect scouting has gotten more comprehensive than ever before, and these second-round picks
Boy, this
have
nigga
held
Jimmy know how to put
considerable
together a
weight
video,
within
dog. He the
recent
GOAT.
trades around the NBA. But how valuable does that truly make them? Gathered from 10 years worth of draft classes from 2013 to 2022, data shows that on average, out of the 30 players drafted in the second round, about 6 of them won't even suit up in the NBA. That's about 1 in every 5 players selected in the second round that will never see a minute of action in the league. Out of the 24 players who do make a roster in their rookie season, about 17 of them end up playing a second season in the NBA. Of those 17 players that are good enough to stick around for more than a few seasons, only about 8 of them will go on to be a role player or rotational
Look at these
level
analytics,
player.
man.
Go one step further, and
All-star.
on average, only 4 of these
Starter
second-round picks will
shit.
become a starting caliber
Sam Hauser was
player
undrafted.
in their career. That's about
Sam
1
Hauser
in
was
every
undrafted.
8
Real hooper.
players selected in the second round. And finally, of the 298 players selected in the second round of the draft from 2013 to 2022, only 2 of them became all-stars.
Brunson and Jokic.
Nikola Jokic and Jalen Brunson. If we think about the last 10 years...
Okay, hold on. Let me just see something. Was there... Okay, I was about to tweak out if their actual outline was them. Because I was about to be like, yo, this nigga actually went out his way to make those outlines those niggas, but he didn't.
13 to 2022, only 2 of them became all-stars. Nikola Jokic...
Wait,
and
hold on. Did he?
Only 2 of them became all-stars. Nikola
Okay, no, but it was close.
Jokic and Jalen Brunson. If
That
we
nigga's
think about
cooking.
the last 10 years of second-round picks on a scale of box plus minus, with Nikola Jokic being on one end
Cassius
and the players who
Stanley,
don't
oh
even
my
make a
God.
roster
Didn't he make
on the
videos
other,
with Justin?
then most players aren't in the middle. In fact, they're not even
Did he?
close. Most second-round picks fall way down here, somewhere in between what Basketball Reference would classify as an end-of-the-bench player and out of the league. When considering how to use a second-round pick, the idea of drafting a guy who ends up being a real contributing player, a starter, or even a future MVP, the perceived opportunity cost can
P. Diddy
tend to
should not
outweigh
be
the
drafted,
actual
Andy.
value of
He
the
should
pick.
be in a cell
Drafting a player
somewhere.
of this caliber in the second round is like finding a diamond in the rough. But giving away a pick or a potential player that ends up being of this caliber would be a mistake that no front office wants to live with. But that doesn't change the fact that the vast majority of the time, these second-round picks in the NBA draft go on to be these end-of-the-bench level players. Just out of curiosity, does anyone know who the last few 55th overall picks in the draft were and how their careers are turning out? Last year's 55th overall...
I mean, I can name you some second-round picks, but the 55th pick? Like... Yeah, I can't name you that.
pick has played 1 game in the NBA. The one before that has played 23 games in 2 seasons. The 55th pick in 2021,
Aaron Wiggins, he's decent.
is actually having himself a solid career so far. But the one before him...
Oh
is
my
out of
God,
the league.
Jay Scrub, fuck. He tore his ACL, we had to cut his ass. He was doing a little something in that summer league, though.
The one before that one is also out of the league. He's also out of the league, out of the league, out of the league, was never in the league, out of the league, and out of the league. As a late second rounder, if Bronny can contribute on any level in the NBA, he has already exceeded his draft value. And that's really the
But that's not his
proposition in all of
expectations.
this.
Draft value
It
and
would be
expectations are two different
incredible
things.
if Bronny developed into a Davion Mitchell or Aaron Holiday caliber player. But the reality is if Bronny can provide any net positive value to his team, then selecting him in the draft will have been a great pick. There has never been a player projected to go this late in the draft with any expectations on what they should or will do in the league.
He's Bron's son, and they pick apart everything LeBron does.
For players who might have been overlooked, players who maybe underperformed their potential at the collegiate level, players who organizations are willing to roll the dice on because there's virtually no opportunity cost associated.
Would y'all ever rather have Bronny James or Brandon Ingram? Think about it.
Associated with late second-round picks. It's all upside at this point in the draft. If they don't work out, well, that's typical. If they do work out,
he got a soaker on him,
the
though.
odds. And the very large point being overlooked in all of this talk about potential and value to the team.
Ingram? Nah, I think I'm going Bronny.
Has the opportunity to play basketball with his kid.
Like nobody want Brandon Ingram weak ass.
Let's just be honest.
But like I said, Bronny got a soaker.
Blatant nepotism.
Yeah, he got a soaker.
A classic case of it's who you know, not what you know. But nepotism has ran rampant in the NBA for decades, and no one cared. Countless players, coaches, executives, owners who got their shot with far less merit than Bronny has. But now here we are sitting around talking about the integrity of a man who's played 21 seasons in the league and his son because they made the most of an otherwise paltry 55th pick in the draft, and the nepotism leaned in their favor this time around. We can criticize this decision all we want, preach about how
Kendrick Perkins need a bib for that dick sucking you do on
the face of the game we love. But then we would all be hypocrites, because there isn't a man on earth who would pass up on the chance to play in the NBA with his son, even if it meant pulling a
Y'all ever notice how skinny Bron got during that one period on the Heat?
Sharing the same last name as arguably the best basketball player of all time, that tag has also came with equal scrutiny. We have never seen a late second-round pick get discussed and limelighted like we've seen with Bron.
He's not gonna have none on Anton Watson though. The pick right before him, Anton Watson,
completely dissected and criticized like this.
Real hooper.
LeBron and Bronny have a chance to do something that has never been done in the history of the NBA, and that is worth more than any late second-round pick will ever be.
Hey, salute, nigga. How am I weird? Free Glenn Davis.